All right, everyone, we are here with War 2 against Alpha Flight. Today, I will be taking in Magneto, House of X for pre-fights, Omega Sentinel, and Professor X. I've got Path 1 in Section 1 and Path 5 in Section 2, a shared fight, and a mini-boss. So, today is a very back and forth with Mastery War, starting out here with Path 1, 2 Omega Sentinel fights. So I've got Liquid Courage and Double Edge maxed. Game plan with Weapon X is that we have the heal block pre-fight placed. We're going to stay in that weapon the entire fight. We're going to place a heal block anytime we finish a combo, get him into Berserker Rage, obviously wait out the Unstoppable, try to bait out heavies and his Unstoppable for openings if he doesn't have a special attack, combo him after the heavy, after the special attack that he uses, and just basically nuke him down. If we are using a special attack, it'll be a special 3, and we'll get nice little plasmas placed off of that if the fight's not already over. But the recoils and the big boosts should help get the fight done really quickly. So not really nervous about this one. Power back boosts mutants are already on for Professor X fights later, but I do change masteries multiple times here, and the presets kind of help, especially since once I adjust one set of pre-fights and then switch to another, and then switch back, the way I had manipulated it the first time actually stays. So going really well here, hitting really hard. Chosen a vulnerability boost just because we're going to give him a bunch of fury from punching him in the face during Berserker. So I didn't want to get clipped with a combo and KO'd all at once. Luckily we don't bleed, so we at least have that safety net, but just figured a gray boost was pretty important considering how close this war was at the start and when I actually took these fights. But you see there, I didn't even get the special 3. He was done. Next fight for Omega Sentinel, we have a White Magneto pre-fight here on Masochism so that we don't have an unblockable Longshot. My game plan here was just to combo and end with light attacks so that we never place a debuff. We don't have to worry about special 1 because we're bleed immune, and we don't have to worry about special 2 because we're fate seal immune. So really it's just a punch Longshot down, don't get hit too much fight. Don't end with mediums so that you don't have an unblockable, so the punch in the face doesn't come from basic attacks. Watch MD so that you don't take a special 3 because that'll result in a stun. So I am baiting out special 1s often in this fight instead of pushing him to special 2, in the risk of pushing him to special 3 with an accidental intercept and mystic dispersion. So you see I'm messing around with the special 1, sometimes triggering the dex, sometimes trying to work it out where I don't trigger the dex, so that we don't have, just a couple hits between special attacks. And I actually decide with how well the fight is going that when I get special 3, I'm going to try and get a long shot down to almost no power, end with a medium, wait a second or two. And the way this fight worked out, it was actually just take a punch in the face or two, since I have the indestructible, and then fire the special 3 while Masochism is on cooldown, so that we place the 6 incinerates and just take care of the rest of Longshot, because as you can see, the fight's pretty much done. So here we go with the medium, got punched in the face, no big deal, into special 3, and then the very little he had left, Leal, boom, down he goes. So first 2 fights of the war done. Moving on to Section 2, Path 5, we have switched to maxing recoils and no double edge or liquid courage. We are taking this rank 3 Onslaught with a Professor X. I was just kind of hoping special 3 cycle was the game plan. But because we are going to be heavy retaliating here, and we never want to parry, we don't want that daunted to take away our willpower. But because we are going to be retaliating a heavy, neuroshocks should not get out of control unless, of course, we eat a special 1. So after the summer or spring of sorrow event and just general dueling, Onslaught special 1 has gotten a bit easier for me to dex. I can't say it's always a 100% thing, but at least it's in the 90% range. So the first special 1 here, flawless dexing. There are going to be a couple times where Onslaught seems to go passive and backs up, and I decide to go hit into his block. That's just so that I don't end up getting cornered, because just like most Professor X fights right here, I want to get to special 3, have the falter ready with no neuroshocks because that's going to counter miss, and then intercept with the miss here. So if I'm all the way against the wall, there's a chance he throws a light instead of a medium, and then we don't get that protection down and could cause this fight to go a lot longer. But we get it down, and we come out of this with the worry that I thought might happen. The first special 3 does not get us to a second special 3. I don't notice it. I just press the special attack button. Special 2 takes off a good chunk. I do notice it here. This time I decide to dex into special 2, and if that wasn't going to take him out, we had a special 3 ready before the fury was going to end. So made it out. We heal up, we shake off our nerves, and we move on to a much easier Professor X fight. We're taking Killmonger here with Professor X. Still have recoils max. We have a white Magneto pre-fight, so we don't have to deal with Mighty Charge. And this is just a parry heavy, don't get hit by special attacks fight. PS1 is still on from the previous fight. So, yeah, this is a pretty simple, pretty straightforward fight. We're not taking any reverb, just taking block damage. And hopefully he throws special 1s. What I did note in duels was that if we did happen to push Killmonger to special 2, which I decided I was going to try to avoid by baiting special 1s, that we needed to get the Indestructibles off before throwing special 3. Otherwise, it would completely ruin the special 3 cycle. So here, decide to create some space so that we don't get cornered, because as I said, we need to intercept a medium. We're set there. There's the medium, and then it's just game over from here. So was not worried with Killmonger about the special 3 cycle. It's the second fight. We have the Omega Sentinel synergy, so we're actually ramped a lot higher than we would be after one fight. So the prowess here, the special attack damage is just much more massive going into this fight. So after getting through that onslaught, Killmonger was cake. All right, we move back to using Omega Sentinel. We're going to take Korg here on high energy diet. We have put Liquid Courage and Double Edge back on and taken recoil at max off. White Magneto pre-fight here. I decide to place the heal block pre-fight. It's just so that we can place the heal block from time to time. Not really needed. It's not like we're going to throw a special attack, and it's not like he's going to get any debuffs that cause him to heal. It's really just a formality. It's just so that I can end with mediums. If I end with mediums and I have the other 2 weapons on, the medium attack counts as a light or as an energy attack and actually heals him towards that unblockable. And if I don't have that heal block, he's going to go unblockable. So this is just a beatdown. This is going to run for about a minute, and then I'm going to speed it up for you. But really, it's just focusing on when his rock stacks are up, using light attacks after a stun when they are. Don't cause him to go unstoppable and unblockable when he doesn't have any bars of power, because that's going to make things interesting. And yeah, you see a couple times they make a few mistakes and go in with a medium while he still has a rock stack. It wasn't a big deal. I was actually worried more about block damage than I was about anything else. Used an invulnerability boost just so that we didn't get nuked to town with the 7-star versus 6-star and eating a special attack. But pretty safe fight. I used to do this with prowess power / armor burn. So I knew we had it kind of in the wheelhouse when we needed this Korg covered. So I gave it a shout out, and it ended up getting assigned. So pretty much all it was. To be honest, I'm actually surprised by the block damage. It was insignificant. The damage I did take was mostly from not paying attention to rock stacks and using a medium attack. And he's a lower sig. I think he was 71, maybe 60. I looked at a bunch of sig champs that I was taking, and I can't remember which one Korg specifically was, but he was rank 3. So I had Pierce for stat focus. So I was right to be somewhat concerned about block damage, but as you can see, I mean, it was fine. Last time I took it, Omega Sentinel wasn't ascended either. Last fight, we went back to max recoils, no Liquid Courage Double Edge, and we are back to a Destroyer with Professor X. This one, in theory, the setup should be a lot easier compared to Path 5 because we don't need to work in an intercept. And Professor X counters this node missing in action, so we don't have to worry about miss. The only thing we have to make sure of is that we don't get hit by a special attack, and don't let him throw too many special ones with the power reserve. So I decide each time during his, I decide every time he gets a special 1 that I'm going to focus on pushing him to special 2. You're going to see it here. I don't really get a reparry in. Yep. and I just decide to combo to push him to special 2, and then I immediately turtle up so he doesn't throw special 1, so that we don't get him ramped. And then once we're at 100 and we get this special attack out, I decide to throw special 3. And in theory, this should have ended it. We're ramped, got the max number of charges, feel pretty good. I felt like when I hit this button, it was over. Kind of confirmed it for me once we came out of this special attack and I had a special 3. I said, all right, we're good. It's just going to take a bunch of special 3s. However, his little protection per buff didn't get me to special 3 after that second one, since I had 5 prowess. But luckily, the special 2 is unblockable and had a bunch of damage and just took him down. So that was the end of my war. That put me at 8 fights and no deaths for the season. So great start to the season. A lot of fights that war. And SSX is 2-0. So again, a little bit of a benefit. Alpha Flight was actually playing really well their first war. So we knew we actually had to show up, but we are still benefiting from the matchmaking, especially early on in the season. Considering how our off-season looks, it should... Hopefully it doesn't wait till the last week to come and give us like who we're supposed to in the top 5 and top 10. Hopefully it's the second week that we see it. But that's where we're at. That's how War 2 went. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hit subscribe and give it a like, and I will catch you guys at the next war.